So here Laura's going to ride a smaller circle at C when she comes round next, and the horse is going to be showing a level of suppleness round the inside leg. There he's just tipping his head a little bit to the outside, so Laura needs to use her inside leg a little bit more to get that inside hind leg to step up towards the outside rein. You can see he fell out a little bit through the shoulder, but the idea is to bring the hind leg up and underneath the body as he comes round the circle. And then as she comes out to a bigger circle, 20 metres, she's going to gradually release the rein, keep the suppleness around her inside leg, allow him to stretch down. The circle was a little bit small, and therefore you just needed to make the circle more of a circle as an oval. I felt there that he just got a bit too flat. So as Laura comes onto the 15-metre circle, she's showing the fluidity of the bend in his body, and she's asking him to step through and connect into the bridle. And as she comes out of the circle, she's going to travel him across to the outside rein, still a uniform level of bend, and she's going to allow the reins to get gradually longer, and the horse should soften and follow the bit. And you really ideally want the pole to go down but the nose to come slightly forward. Then she's going to pick him back up. She's going to steer him onto the 15-metre circle. She lost him through the outside shoulder there because she was just a little bit late. So then you correct him on the second half of the circle. Make sure the shoulders feel like they're up. And then you gradually steer him away to the outside rein and soften the rein and gradually let him stretch again. By the time you got halfway round, you really want to see a maximum level of stretch. He loses just a little bit of power sometimes when the rein is allowed to stretch. Now you take the rein back up again. You ride the circle line with the outside leg. That was much better than last time. And now you keep the energy. The hind leg is a little bit lazy. It shows that the nose just tilts around a little bit when the power is lost. And she takes him out again. She looks at the accuracy of the size of the circle. The pole should go down. The nose should go marginally forward. He should take the rein away from her without losing balance or his shoulders feeling like they want to drop completely onto the floor. And then back up again. For me, the clarity of being able to take the balance up and down, so he doesn't lose the balance and run downhill. You take the rein, you pick him up, the shoulder comes up, you take him out, you let him stretch, and he doesn't lose the ability to stay in self-carriage. It's so important that he's in self-carriage and that he makes a connection. You can see that lovely bulge on the side of his neck. He can go a little bit longer in the rein. Super. So as Laura comes into this small circle, this horse is his weakest rein. His canter isn't always stepping through as much as we would like. But when we're asking him to stretch on the bigger circle, the art of it is being able to get him to stretch without feeling like the canter becomes vulnerable. So there, his left hind leg just broke into trot. So Laura's going to put him back together again, bring the shoulder back up, re-establish the canter, make the smaller circle. And the smaller circle is really important because if we just went straight out to a stretch, you'd just find he'd make the same error again. Laura's got to feel her way through when she allows the horse to stretch, not to lose the connection completely. You might get a modest stretch, but you get a stretch that's effective to developing that horse's level of ability to carry his weight on his hind legs without always feeling that the rider has to be half halting and lifting the shoulder. And then the shoulder comes back up. He could be a little bit rounder and softer. He's slightly slipping to the left. The tempo of the canter needs to come up a little bit more from behind, and the reins are a little bit long. So it's really important when you come through these exercises from coming from a longer rein to a shorter rein that you give yourself time to bring the shoulder back up, to keep the canter rhythm with the lower leg, and to be sure that the reins are the right length before you get halfway round your smaller circle and realise that you're having to haul him round with your inside rein. You need two legs, one to ride the circle bend, one to ride the circle direction on the outside. And then the stretching one more time. Laura's very slightly collapsing her inside hip, and you could see there how the power of the canter started to disappear. So as he started to disappear with the canter power, he tipped to the right. Laura followed the problem, and then he came off the outside hind leg and broke to trot. So at this point, it's more important to pick him up in the trot, not to canter at this stage, but to put him back together again, to look for a clarity of a moment of suspension in trot, returning to the 15-metre circle. So it's not about the ability for him to always stay in canter on a stretch. It's like going to the gym. You only do a little bit more and you find out where the level is he can contain and control. It's not failure to lose it. You have to observe and learn from it. So Laura will have one more canter and we'll try and feel our way into the fact that if he feels like he's going to drop on the forehand, you make him quicker with the lower leg. Be careful your shoulders don't become tense. Make him follow the bit. Let him out a little bit. Now pick him up again. Push your tailbone slightly up through your elbows. And the suppleness, outside leg for steering, inside leg for suppleness. And then a balanced transition when you're ready back to trot. Very important to be in control of the downward transition. You can see where this horse is getting tired and then he throws his shoulder to the ground. So ideally, you want to be doing downward transitions before he gets to the point whereby he feels so lazy behind he can't sustain his balance and lift his shoulder. Let him stretch again, Laura. Good. Make a fuss of him.